Hey everybody, it's your friend Adam. I just realized I think I shared this tab without actually sharing the audio. So I don't know if you guys can hear the audio. I'm officially stream sniping Ethan. So I'll send you a link, no one. I did a call today with Warren Mosler, and I obviously figured that was my stream for the day, but I was just going to jump on maybe for 30 minutes, maybe for an hour, just to talk MMT a bit. Obviously, you guys always have great comments. I'm officially stream sniping Ethan. So they're launching a campaign. I put the campaign, it's Aaron Presti's campaign, Aaron LaPresti's campaign in the chat there, so you guys can check it out. They're up to $16,300, which is great. You know, I wish I would have kept better track on our campaign, exactly how well we did. 17,500. I'm not sure how well we did in the first 24 hours. I wasn't expecting much, but now we're up to 50K, which is great. And I'm working on the comic more than I like to work at all anyway, about 10 hours a day. So what's up, Kava? Yes, I put Mpreg in the title. MMT versus Mpreg, trying to stoke some controversy here. Can you guys hear the audio when I press play on this? I'm just curious. They were saying some interesting stuff on this Ethan live stream about because they hired someone at Kickstarter who has a bunch of comic skaters blocked. It's major drama, has all these professionals dropped, all of these comic pros. And she is a black disabled woman. So she checks all the social justice boxes. So there's not a lot of black. Everyone heard that on the stream and everyone was like, oh, I guess they were ready to go. No, they're ready. They're out for blood because obviously she's got them all blocked for no good reason. They haven't done anything wrong. She's just needlessly blocking them. She's supposed to be an outreach person for Kickstarter, but then they all heard, wait, what? She's a black woman, a black disabled woman. Well, now we can't attack her. What are we doing? This is insane. So no one wants to come on and talk a bit about, I think, solar, which could be interesting. I also was going to, this clip came up in my talk with Warren Mosler. I don't know how many of you have listened to the talk with Warren Mosler. I apologize. And I almost made the title an apology video because the audio is so bad. And I tried to fix it. We tried to fix it ahead of time, but Warren doesn't have any, I mean, he's just basically using a mic on his computer. I got him to turn the air conditioner off, but it didn't really help a lot. So I think it was just background noise from who knows. Maybe he's got a refrigerator in that room or whatever. So I definitely apologize for the sound. Obviously, everyone in the comments is giving me a hard time about the terrible sound because I don't let people on with terrible sound. And watch, as soon as I let no one on, if you have terrible sound, I'm gonna kick you immediately. But Warren's the godfather of MMT. What am I gonna do? I mean, he could have me whacked. He could have me MMT whacked if I lash out at him. So there's only so much I could do. He's nice enough to lend his time to me, and I think he'd be down to have another talk. So let me see here. I think I need to remove this and share. Hold on a second here. This guy, share audio. Boom. So this is a guy that I'm talking about. People have been sending me this right and left. People send me this constantly. This is the new thing people are sending me. Oh, this guy doesn't strawman MMT. This guy's super good. He doesn't strawman MMT at all. He has a cogent argument against MMT. Well, those of you who understand MMT and are following along realize that he doesn't really have a cogent argument. And I think the first person to send this to me, and I apologize, I don't remember who it was, but they were saying that his take is not like he they sent it to me because they thought I would think it was funny how he basically says MMT makes us risk socialism without actually making an argument, without actually making any kind of causal connection to why MMT is going to lead to socialism, which, I mean, I'm open to that. I'd like to hear the argument. And I did the talk with Warren Mosler today, and I wasn't super happy with the responses that I got from Warren, in that I'm not sure that I'm super on board with the jobs program. When I read Stephanie Kelton's book, the jobs program is obviously the first thing that jumps out at you. Like, this is pie in the sky. This is never going to work. What are these jobs going to be? How is this going to happen? And I was hoping Warren, who is from a business background, would have better answers than he did. Uh, it's the first time I've ever talked to him, so obviously there's, you got to get comfortable with someone before you can really dig in. And it was more interview style, where, in an interview, people tend to monologue a bit. So where I want to jump in and say, listen, I need clarification here, I didn't really have an opportunity to do that. It was set up so, I was going to ask 13 questions and he was going to answer those 13 questions. So I would like to dig in deeper, and Warren is definitely the guy to get answers to these questions. So maybe I can pitch him a little more privately. So, but I see Danimals in the chat. I see Sean in the chat. I see Kava in the chat. I see Guildmaster Scarma in the chat. I don't know if I'm going to leave this stream public. I know that this is my normal stream time. So I figured I would jump on for a bit and play this thing on MMT. It came up in the Warren Mosler talk, and I'm not sure that I described it correctly, but I have my comments here on the thing. The people against MMT always bring up this cigarette argument, which I can't stand, because I guess I'll just read my comment. It's at 3200. He brings up the cigarette argument, and it's an argument that they bring up they bring up to disprove MMT. They want to prove that money forms naturally in communities, and undermine the argument of MMT that the reason why the currency has value is because the United States taxes people. They don't like that argument because obviously they're Austrians. They don't like the idea of any kind of government intervention. They don't like the idea of even taxes existing. They would like to privatize everything, or as much as possible. They're going to say I'm strawmanning. They're like, not everything. You can't privatize everything. Come on. So they bring up the cigarette argument as evidence that money can form in any kind of community. Somebody, I responded here, and I guess I'll just read it. And somebody clapped back about how this response that I have doesn't take place in prison camps. It only takes place in prisons, obviously, because prison camps are, guys who are soldiers together. So it's not as dog eat dog in a prison camp, which I understand. So, but at 33, he brings up the cigarette thing, which is a common argument. If you're interested in MMT, you'll see that people are making this argument. But I say the cigarette argument is completely stupid, which people gave me a hard time because I said stupid. Maybe I shouldn't have said stupid that early on, but the cigarette argument is completely stupid because it follows the same logic as the taxes. Now, MMT makes this argument that currency has value because the United States taxes people. Their idea for how a currency is started is that the government rolls into town and puts a hut tax on people. They basically come to your home and they say, listen, you're going to pay us $5,000. And I'm just throwing these numbers out there, obviously, but you're going to pay us $5,000 a year. We're going to come and burn your house down. So that immediately creates in people a desire to, and I know I'm triggering all the Austrians out there. They're like, what? How coercive is that? But this is the story. This is probably how money actually came into being with colonialism and all that stuff. But they come in, they put a hut tax. They say, listen, we're going to burn your hut down if you don't pay us $5,000. So obviously this motivates people to want to obtain the $5,000. And the $5,000 is the basically the colonialist currency. So they say, oh, you need to obtain $5,000 so we don't burn your hut down. We just so happen to have some jobs for you here on our ship. We need people to come in and clean up our ship. So you can clean up our ship. We'll pay you $50 a day, and you don't get your house burned down. So that is their story for how money begins, triggers the shit. I might like this story because it does trigger the shit out of people, but this is a compelling story for why there is value to money. And it seems like a much more compelling story than the Austrians come up with. This they call it the coincidence of wants. So their story is, I'm a baker, I want some apples, I find somebody that wants bread, and I offer to trade them for their apples. But to find that situation, you got to have somebody who wants exactly what you're looking for, or wants what you have and has exactly what you're looking for. It's like a messy situation. So they claim that barter came into the situation because to solve this problem of the double coincidence of wants. But that's probably not the case. The MMT people are probably correct that it came into being because of this coercive situation where the government would come in and say, listen, you're working for us, we're conscripting your employment, and in return, we're not going to burn your hut down. So they bring up cigarettes as that happens in prison to create the double coincidence of wants. And I just respond here, the cigarette argument is completely stupid because it follows the same logic as the taxes. In prison, cigarettes become valuable because people demand them as payment for services. This is exactly what makes money valuable. The government demands it as payment for services, and in prison, it's even the same exact service that the government provides, security. And this happens in prisons. In prisons, you basically have to join a gang, otherwise you're going to get the shit beat out of you. So the cigarettes are payment for security. The prison gangs put a hut tax on prisoners. You pay them in cigarettes or they're going to beat the shit out of you. MMT proposes the same logic for the value of fiat currency. Every time you bring up the cigarette argument, you look like dumbasses, since they are every time they bring up the cigarette argument, they look like dumbasses since they are literally making MMT's value of money argument. Woo, I need a drink. I'm talking too much today, so that's one of my criticisms of this video, which I encourage you guys to listen to. But I just I don't understand why everyone thinks this is a great MMT video, because I guess maybe he doesn't straw man as much, but he still straw mans quite a bit. And the second one I'm actually going to play because it's 36, and this came up in my talk with Warren. This idea of he in the clip says, well, he sets up a thought experiment, and I explain the thought experiment by the soldier knows what the money is worth since he worked all day to earn it, and the seller always wants to get as much as he can get. Obviously, if you're selling, I don't know if you guys know this, but if you're selling anything, your ultimate goal is to get as much as you possibly can for it. If someone dumb enough comes along and is going to offer you $1 billion for your broken down, busted bicycle, you sell that bike, you sell that bicycle on the spot. You get that $1 billion for that bicycle. That's the way this works. I feel like if you guys have any questions in the chat, send me an @ because I know some of you left some really thoughtful comments on the video, and I don't want to miss those comments if they stroll through, but I have so many tabs open. Okay, right here. I got it. I'm curious if the Mpreg got through, because on this, we were having a lot of fun with the Mpreg. I lay an Mpreg tax. How did that get through? Because I did a lot of, I let down a lot of, you can't use Mpreg on the channel. Maybe it doesn't do it for the chat. But I see a couple. Gilmaster Sharma says Mpreg tax for all. Kava says, I lay an Mpreg tax. Jab Slant says, hi Jab. So I'll just play this little clippity clip, because it's a perfect example of how this video is just filled with strawmen. Well, I mean, maybe that's the thing. It's not filled with straw man. It's like 50% straw man. But he doesn't really make a compelling argument against MMT, which is what I am looking for. I do not think that it was a great showing from Mosler today. I really don't. Because Mosler's saying that the jobs program can just be dealt with through the nonprofits, which the biggest pushback that you get from conservatives is that these jobs programs are going to become super political. And I don't see how you avoid that if all of the jobs are going to be provided locally by nonprofits, because nonprofits are ultimately political. They become political. They're big campaign donors. They are huge campaign donors. I mean, I haven't looked specifically at the numbers, but if I took a guess, I would just guess that most of them donate to the Democratic Party. I'm not sure they're donating to the Republicans. I'm sure the Republicans have plenty of nonprofits, though, that do donate to them. The think tanks, I think, are all 501c nonprofits. So, but they're all political, all completely political. So that's going to be a big problem for people who are trying to avoid corruption. Oh my God. I think I turned my AC off, so I might have to run and turn the AC on. We'll see if I can stomach it.
Well,
okay, so here we go. Going back to 36, going to play the clip.
Was that was in charge here. It says, well, the tax time is coming, but you're going to need some of these.
Okay, so I'm going to back it up a little because he's talking about starting up a currency. You guys can hear it, right? Let me know if you can't hear the audio.
But what if instead we adopt this kind of analogy that I gave in the past, or this parable from the past, where the government is paying all of our soldiers and IOUs, then the soldiers go out and try to buy goods from the people.
Okay, so he's adopted the MMT framework. He's saying, okay, let's just give MMT the benefit of the doubt. And let's say that the soldiers did show up, put a hut tax on people, and the people decided they were going to work for the soldiers at cleaning the ship, whatever they have to do. Now they have the currency to pay the hut tax, but they also have currency left over. Now, keep in mind, the Apple dealer, he also has a hut tax. He's got to pay his $5,000. So he wants to get some currency too, but he doesn't want to go clean the ship. He's like, I'm busy in my fields growing apples, okay? I don't have time to clean your ship. I got shit going on. But he still needs to get his $5,000 so he doesn't get his home burned down. God, this is so... I think one of the things I love about this is it totally triggers the shit out of the Austrians. We get to have nice, hypothetical conversations about this guy getting his hut burned down. Oh, man. I should have never watched Clockwork Orange so many times when I was a kid. I think it corrupted my mind.
So a soldier comes to me in my app.
Oh, look, I got a super chat. Drasnock for $10 says MMT video and a stream about MMT trigger my elephant more out of give me my fix. In the immortal words of John Smith, you gotta fight past the triggering, okay? That's the whole point of this project, okay? We all get triggered by shit. I get triggered all the time. You guys have seen me triggered a bunch of times. I think this is good for us. We got to get past this triggering. We got to start thinking about it logically. Logic is where the freedom lies. So, okay, back to the subject here. Let's listen more. You guys can hear the audio, right?
Apple stand. I say apple stand because I do actually grow apples. I couldn't sell any of them, I assure you, right? But I have apples, right? So soldier comes to me and has these IOUs that it just received, right, from the nobility or whoever it was.
Now, keep in mind, he's leaving out the part that he also knows as the Apple dealer that the fucking same military the guy is working for is going to come burn down his house if he doesn't come up with the $5,000 hut tax that they've placed on him. Okay. He's leaving that out of the story here. I think the sense of urgency for him to get some of that money from the soldier is a bit higher than he's letting on here. It's much more like the prison scenario, right? It's much more like the guy in prison who's like, holy shit, Bubba says I need to give him like 14 packs of cigarettes a week, or he's going to fucking beat the shit out of me, or he's going to let the other guys beat the shit out of me. He's going to stop protecting me, whatever the situation is. Like, I'm working for cigarettes. What do I have to do? How do I get me some cigarettes?
In charge here says, well, you know, the tax time is coming, but you're going to need some of these.
Okay. I take it back. He did leave that in. Okay. I apologize, Lucas. Good job.
Okay. But then we need to figure out how many of these IOUs should I receive in exchange for that apple. It's not clear to me. We don't have any history, have any sense of, okay, well, I don't know how many soldiers are going to come by for me to be able to get enough to pay my tax bill. I don't have a sense of that. I don't have a sense of what
all of this part is complete straw manning, because the amount that you're going to want to get is as much as you can. Lucas, the answer is as much as you can. You start the bidding at $2 billion. I would like $2 billion for my apples. And the soldier's going to go, listen, I worked all day to get $5. The idea that you're going to get $2 billion out of me is ludicrous, ridiculous. Apple dealer, you're high. What are you smoking? Are you on crack, Mr. Apple dealer? Listen, I make $5 a day. I'm not Jeff Bezos over here, okay? I'm cleaning toilets on the soldier ship. I don't have this money. I have $5 here for some apples. You want to trade up or what?
Could do with these, or nobody else has ever used them before. So if I end up with more than I want,
oh my God, look, Active Nothing already is smarter than Lucas, who probably has a PhD in economics. Okay. Active Nothing says, yeah, exactly right. We started the bidding at 2 billion, right? For your apples. He says, fuck off. Well, what do we say? 1.9 billion. Right. We're going to figure out how much this money's worth. Not only that, it's so meaningless, because the negotiation, I already had the negotiation, like joking around. If I spent all day working for $5, I'm like $1 billion is obviously out of the question. $2 billion is out of the question. But let's seriously think. Am I going to spend a day's wages on an apple? One apple? It seems a little weird to me. Like, I'm thinking maybe 10 cents, maybe 5 cents. But listen, and this actually came up in the talk with Warren about how the government actually sets the prices by what it pays for services. When the military buys a jet for however much they pay for a jet, they're setting prices in the same way that the ship is setting prices for the apple, because they're putting that money into the economy, and the workers are saying, I'm not going to pay a day's wages for an apple.
What do I do with the excess? How can I spend them? I have no sense. Right? And similarly,
listen, everyone you know has a hut tax placed on them. That currency is very valuable already. He's totally underplaying that. He's like, I don't want extra currency. What do you mean? That hut tax is not going away. You're going to have that hut tax for the rest of your life. They're building barracks down at the port. They're not going anywhere. This is how colonialism works. This is another great thing about MMT. Okay. There's another scourge on the internet called the wokesters. They are dead set against colonialism, but they love MMT. This is like MMT and colonialism go hand in hand. It's a triggering, just bound to happen.
The soldier doesn't have a sense of what these would be worth or what they should be worth. How many?
Okay, this is where he totally messes up. This is where, like, how do you have Lucas? How do you have a PhD in economics and you don't? This is so simple. Look, I am a retarded artist here on the internet, and it makes perfect sense to me. It's so basic. It's so completely simple. I mean, maybe the Mises guys are paying this guy so much that he can't figure it out because he's getting paid not to figure it out. But I mean, this is simple. It's very basic.
Apples. Right? And
I'm going to back
what,
up
what
a
do I
little.
do with the excess? So what can I? How can I spend them? I have no sense. Right? And similarly, a soldier doesn't have a sense of what these would be worth or what they should be worth, how many apples they should be able to receive in exchange for these IOUs.
See, listen to this. This is moronic. This guy, this is grade A idiot. This is how, look, how are people sending me? How are 5 people a week sending me this video with this in there? With this thing? The soldier doesn't know how. Look, listen, how many of you, listen, all of you work for a living, I'm assuming. We're not social justice warriors. You know, we're not on disability for life. All of us are working here. You know how much your money is worth because it's in your goddamn fucking paycheck. I'm sorry, I should, for my Christian audience, and I am an atheist for Jesus, I shouldn't take the Lord's name in vain. I know that bugs some of you, so I try not to do it. I try to be respectful of that. But how? Listen, do you guys know how much your money is worth? How do you know how much your money is worth? Because it's in your paycheck. You literally worked to earn it. You know how much the money is worth, okay? This soldier is not Jeff Bezos. Jeff Bezos might not have any concept of how much the money is worth because he's Jeff Bezos. He's like, I make $70 billion a second, okay? I'm Jeff Bezos. Fucking apples, $2 billion sounds cheap. Give me 5, right? This soldier just spent all day working for whatever, how much? $5? What is $5? Okay. The soldier knows how much the money is worth. The seller knows that knows how much money they have to get to pay the hut tax. Okay. This is not difficult, Lucas. I sent a tweet on the Twitter, in the Twitterverse, and Lucas actually responded, but he didn't give me a good response to this. I don't know. This is kind of, why is this in your talk, Lucas? This is like terrible.
So trying to introduce this money into the system from nowhere that has no history in terms of its purchasing power is going to, let's just say, be extremely difficult. There's no...
Listen, this is so, it's going to be extremely difficult. How? It's not difficult. Listen, in the time that you've done this thought experiment, the guy has already bought his dozen apples and is back at the barracks sharing them with his friends.
Foundation here, there may be a general foundation for, yeah, I know that I need some of this stuff, right? But knowing that I need some of this stuff at tax time is not enough to tell me in any specific exchange how much I should be willing to accept or how much I should be willing to give up. Right? So that's
keep in mind that these exchanges have it all day, every day. We've all got a good deal on something. We've all got a bad deal on something. We've all taken a bad deal on something because we absolutely needed it. So this is ridiculous. This stuff is going to be worked out in like 24 hours. The soldiers roll into town. They put the hut tax on everybody. They need the money. All of a sudden, people are like, I'm very interested in working for you. What kind of employment do you have? And this is Moser's argument as well. Moser's argument is that if there is unemployment in the economy, and I'm not super sharp on how this part works. And I would have liked to dig deeper into this, but I tried to keep it onto the jobs program. Man, I would love to do more dialogues with Moser. We'd have to get the sound issue worked out, and it would have to be more of a discussion back and forth, because I have questions that I don't feel are getting answered, and I'm too impatient to listen to like a 5-minute monologue on that may not end up in an answer. No hate to Warren, obviously. I love Warren to death, and Warren seems like a completely sincere guy. I've listened to all of his talks. He is amazing. So, but there's obviously always some getting to know each other period. On Sitch and Adam, obviously we box back and forth, like we interrupt each other, and we're there searching for truth. That's a good situation to be in with really smart people. So I'll continue on the clip and see if he delivers, just to have a little laugh, and then I'll send no one the link and he can come in and tell us about solar, and then I'll sign off.
Issue in trying to establish the purchasing power of money. Now, another question that I have connected with that is, do we actually have any historical evidence? And here I'm just saying, I don't know. It might possibly exist, but I suspect it doesn't. Of any fiat money coming into existence, right, that is not tied historically to some commodity. Right? So when I think about modern fiat monies, so things like the dollar, right, we can track back. Actually,
well, obviously, money began linked to some sort of commodity, and Warren brings this up in our talk today. But that doesn't change the fact. I mean, that's the, what is it? What fallacy is it? Where just because something is historically the case, that means it should be the case. I think it's a naturalistic fallacy. That yeah, just because it began that way, where it's linked to a commodity for people's you know own self-interest, doesn't necessarily mean it's never been that way. I mean, the soldiers probably linking it to some sort of commodity made it easier to do what they were doing without burning down a lot of huts. I mean, people are not necessarily going to work for fiat currency until you burn down some huts. And then obviously you're in a much different dynamic. So linking it to gold was probably a smoother route to getting this going. So I'll go ahead and leave it there. That is obviously I'll send you a link send you a link right now on Twitter. Can you send me a DM, or did you send me a DM? Oh, here it is. Perfect. Oh, this is you. Hey, if you need my Twitter for a Zoom link, here it is. Okay. Yes. Now, no one, if you have bad audio, I might just end it a little quicker, because obviously I'm triggered by bad audio, and I don't know that I can take bad audio twice in one day. So, any questions in the chat? What do we got here? Orphan says, this is not how it worked with fiat money. Adam, history. I've read tons of history. This is what Michael Malice calls a midwit. Someone who says that you need to read more to change your opinion to their opinion. I've read a lot. I've read a lot. I could probably throw out some books that you may not have read, Ofer, but I wouldn't want to be accused of being a midwit, so I wouldn't do that. I'm assuming you know your history. You just have encountered some history that's different than the history I have encountered. What's up? Great.
Can you hear me?
I'm in heaven. Holy shit. No one. My hero. Can I hire you to do audio for Warren Mosler? I'm just curious. I don't think no one can hear me, which could be a problem. So I'll talk to the chat until he figures that out. Ofer says, MMT makes no sense, Adam. Well, how are people so interested in MMT if MMT makes no sense? At some point, you have to look in the mirror and say, maybe I'm the one that doesn't understand this. Because other people do understand it. I mean, I'm seeing videos. I saw someone sent me a video of a TikTok guy that was explaining MMT, and the TikTok guy wasn't that bad. It was just the fact that it was completely partisan. It was completely partisan. The programs he was pitching. I was like, this video could explain MMT in a nonpartisan way if they just threw in some of the spending, obviously all the programs that the guy was gunning for, all the spending programs that the guy was gunning for were spending programs that would appeal to the left. It's like the Green New Deal, and I don't know, what does the left want to spend money on? poor people, right? What's up, no one? Can you hear me now? Utter nonsense for no one. I don't know if you can hear me. It sounds like you.
I think I can hear you through the stream, but I don't know.
Okay, well, there's a settings button in the bottom of the screen. It's like cam mic settings, and you got to make sure you're on the right audio device. So do that, and I'll read utter nonsense for $4.99. Says S-Class wakes you up to remind you to get some sleep. A-Team covers up graffiti even with even better graffiti. Whoa, I like that. The world's a dream when you're A-Team. Oh my God, the world's a dream when you're A-Team. I feel like I need to copy paste that into my file to remember. The world's a dream when you're A-Team. Man, I think that might be what we're looking for, boys. That might be the one. That might be the one that sticks.
All right. I think I've got it all figured out.
Oh, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Whoa, nice. You have excellent audio, and you missed my joke about doing audio for Warren Mosler. So
I'm sorry.
Maybe you can help me out with my Warren Mosler audio.
I mean, I think if you wanted to do more audio stuff, either Alex Karras or Stanton would.
Oh yeah.
Choice.
Oh, so you know the guys? Or do you hang out in the Discord server?
Oh yeah, all the time.
Okay.
I'm in CM. In fact, I'm going to be doing this raffle where I'm trying to give away a year's worth of Nitro to somebody. Haven't figured out how I'm going to do that yet.
What is Nitro?
Discord Nitro. It's just their subscription service.
Okay.
It gives you access to a lot of, I guess, it's kind of like YouTube Premium, where it's useful to you, I guess, based on how much you like a lot of little extra features.
Sounds awesome. So what did you want to talk about solar for a second? Is that what you wanted to do?
Yeah, I just wanted to come on and give my opinions on why I didn't think solar could work, and that was, well, okay, compared to nuclear. And really quickly, just to kind of spell out my credentials, I'm just I'm electrical engineer technology major. I haven't actually finished my degree yet, but I have worked on this kind of technology, and I was really interested in it because for the longest time, I was a big green energy advocate.
Really? Okay. Interesting.
Working on with solar personally and being a really competent with electricity and how it works, they're probably some of the shittiest electrical power sources I have ever worked with.
Low power, is that it?
So one of the biggest things, and I don't know how technical I want to get with this. I don't know how familiar you are with concepts such as amps, volts, or watts.
I know them well.
Okay. So the thing about solar panels, and I remember Sitch going over this a little bit yesterday, was that solar panels only give off 12 volts DC, which is like everything else on your house. Like that's extremely anemic, and it's also the wrong.
Hell yeah, it's like 120.
Well, yeah, your house. Well, American houses are technically actually 240 because we do this thing where
right.
Yeah, we split it in half.
The dryer and the major appliances are 240. Yeah.
Yes. Well, I mean, we also
you get 240 to the house, and then you size it down.
Yeah. So the only way to do that with a solar panel is to use a inverter, which is not impossible to do it like direct from the panel to the inverter, but the panel
and what does the solar panel deliver to the home?
So like it would
12 volts. Is that what you said?
12 volts DC is the highest I've ever seen a single solar panel. If there are some that do
pathetic.
Yeah, if there's some that do more than that, I would be the first I've heard of it. But like the only way to fix that problem is to basically have a lot of them, because the bigger they are, the more amps they produce. And if you have that, you can do an pretty easy equation with transformers to step the voltage up, but you got to convert it from DC to AC first, because It's both 220 and 240. Okay, I know what I'm talking about.
The electrical engineers have began to fight in the chat.
Oh my gosh. Anyways, like so both are correct, but like I don't know exactly why there's so much.
So tell us what's the difference. So nuclear is definitely the way. And you know, from what I've read and what I've heard, it seems like nuclear is the way to go.
Yeah,
solar is a little bit of a pipe dream, but I think the Democrats and the liberals are hanging on to that pipe dream.
the biggest problem with solar is that you need like just these absolutely massive fields to make them like give off any amounts of like power that would be even worth a damn, and that's just like you know to produce the power that you need. That's not even getting into the like. So like let's say that you're in the Midwest where I'm at, and like you have like harsh winters here. Good fucking luck getting any power.
Oh, I know. Not only that, once they get dirty, they really. I mean, you're going to have to run an MMT jobs program just to keep those things clean.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing. Anything on those, like it just immediately reduces the amount of power output. Snow is a big problem with them. I know people who put solar panels on their roofs in Indiana. A lot of people are actually kind of hacktivists. So what they do is that like they'll buy them. They won't tell like the local power company or anything, but they'll just hook it up themselves and like know how to do all the wiring and whatnot. But they basically just say, yeah, all it does is like cut off like maybe $50 off my electrical bill if I'm lucky. And it's just like, wow, that's shit. Like this technology is garbage.
That is good to know because in Southern California, people are always getting solar panels, and I'm curious. Instinctively you think, well, if they're buying them, they have to be valuable. But no, the solar company comes in and tells them, promises them the moon. I'm certain of it.
Well, okay, so there are areas where solar can work because the technology has its uses no matter where it is. And I had a fun discussion with a German earlier today when I told him I was coming on here and doing this. But like places like Texas, for instance, they're like the best of both worlds. Texas can do the solar and the wind and actually get massive amounts of benefits from it because they're in the perfect places to have like optimal conditions for both the wind and solar. So Texas has actually been doing this huge initiative where they've been subsidizing a lot of their power with solar and wind, not because like they give a shit about the environment, but just because it's actually lowering their overall cost of electricity.
Because they're selling the power back to the power company and then selling it to the people, or is that what's going on?
The power companies themselves are setting up these
these
infrastructures, so it actually makes people's overall power in Texas cheaper. But there's pretty much no getting around the fact that if you want to beat both of them with just clean energy output, nuclear is the only one that does it better than like pretty much anything else on the planet.
Yes,
nuclear is incredibly clean, and even like the radiation itself, like it's really not as bad as a lot of people make it out to be. The waste is pretty small. Where like I think you were talking about the new thorium reactors that actually know how to coax the waste back into useful fuel. Actually, I'm not super familiar with that, but like that sounds actually very promising. Unfortunately, I've heard fusion's not actually all that good or all that impressive. It's basically kind of it's like almost the same kind of thing as
fusion doesn't exist yet, right?
I don't. Yeah,
it's fission versus fusion, but fission is breaking apart the atoms. And that we've been able to do for, since.
So they've had some proof of concept of fusion so far. And from what I understand, it's almost takes more energy to do it with the same amount of output. So.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm not I wouldn't sign off on that. I'm not 100% sure.
I'm not either, but it's
Fusion has been done. It seems like that would be front page news. I've seen
no. Okay, so like it's just for me, it's just early reporting. So who knows exactly where that's going to go? But it sounds disappointing, and I'm not happy about that. I was like, yeah, that's kind of disappointing, but I'm not. I don't have anything definitive.
Yeah, right here. They got a fusion reactor work for like 5 seconds. Yeah, that's what I heard.
Yeah.
So like they can't sustain the reaction. That's the problem.
Yeah, that's a big problem, and and I don't actually have anywhere to go.
Gobbles for 20 knock dollars says, Adam, will you be watching Fem for next spring? XOXO. Is that good, or should I watch it? Or
so like, okay, this is like a joke on the Discord, and it's almost as bad as the Mpreg shit. But like,
Mpreg, what's that?
Yeah, who knows, right? It's this mystery. I say we just go back to the conversation we were having. Okay, so
solar is a little dry. I'm curious your take on MMT. that heavy side pretty much says it all. So you're not into MMT. Who wins in a fight between MMT and Mpreg?
Oh God,
I know it's
really got this gun to my head right now.
Hated things. Two of the most hated things.
Okay. So if I could be very clear about my thoughts on MMT, I just simply am not a versed enough economist to really have a
good. That is very good. That is a good position to be in.
I don't feel like I can honestly have a really like definitive take on whether or not MMT can or cannot work. A lot of the things that I hear about MMT instinctually make me go, this sounds like bullshit that can't work. But I can't definitively say that it can't. I'm
in the same position right there.
I don't know. I'm not an economist. I don't know how much of effect this kind of stuff has. And when I got a really comprehensive explanation of MMT, I'm like, well, okay, if you do this, you have to realize how much stuff you're fucking with, because I've had this analogy before. The economy is like a pond. It's a big body of water, and when you do something, it ripples through the entire pond and causes effects everywhere else in it.
Squiddo says, as long as Mpreg isn't mandated, I would pick Mpreg. And for those of you who don't know what Mpreg is, you will have to Google it, because I'm not going to say. Cullivar for $5 says, isn't the chemicals and processing used to make a solar not worth it as far as carbon footprint standpoint?
The amount of pollution outputted from just making the solar panels themselves is a huge problem.
Now, you don't know that from your work, though. You've read that.
No, that's just something I know from like my research and stuff.
Right. Elon has been working on that issue on getting, because Elon has a solar company too.
If Elon knows how to make the panels for cleaner and cheaper, that's cool. I'm glad that he's doing that, but I can't see them. I can't see them having a wide power grid application. That's my biggest thing.
Yeah, nuclear is the way to go.
Yeah, for sure. Like I could see, like one of the best retorts I've gotten was like the local farmer who's kind of off grid, but like can't get reliable power from the closest city, sort of thing. I can see limited uses for solar and wind in those kind of respects, because you don't actually need a ton of power to run a average house. Because like I think in America, the highest the highest main breaker that you can get is like a 250 amp breaker, and at 240 volts let me do a quick math for this.
We don't need math, it's okay.
I want to know the average wattage that you would need. I'm pretty sure that you could probably do a solar field big enough to account for that wattage requirement to be running at pretty much all cylinders if you needed to be. Active nothing. He really hates that I'm saying 240. Look, Active, aren't you from the continent? Europe. Fucking everything on the continent is 220. I will
Oh,
go to
it's a Europe America thing.
yeah, kind of.
I
I will
side with
go to
America.
my I will go to my power box in my basement with my multimeter and double fucking check.
Don't we have to? We're 240 here, right? It seems like 240 because we're 120. We're 120 like outlets,
Yeah, we're
and
120.
240.
Yeah, we're 120 outlets.
220 makes absolutely no sense because then it would be like you can't do a double like 240 and 120 outlets. Just that makes perfect sense.
And the thing is too, I think it's mostly a European thing. 220, because like the Europeans don't have like the system that we have, where you have the 240 across both legs, and then in the center you can tap it for 120. They just have those straight two legs, and I think they do it at 220 volts. Because when after World War II, after their entire economy collapsed, they started modeling their electric system after the Americans, but they were like, "Oh well, center tap transformers are expensive, so fuck that."
Mm-hmm. So they did it just to go the cheaper route. That sounds American.
Well, the Europeans did.
Oh, the Europeans did.
Yeah.
That sounds European. Cheapskates.
Well, the one that's most interesting to me is Britain was like, "Oh no, we're gonna follow the Americans more closely, so we'll actually shell out the money for like center tap transformers," but they still fucked it up because their highest voltage is 110, and their half voltages are 55, and I'm like, where can you use what appliance from Britain can I use anywhere else?
So I just wanted to pick before I sign off, and we'll sign off pretty quick here. I got to get back to work. I'm working on the comic, obviously. That's all I ever do anymore. I've been reading this book as I've been working today, and man, this book is so good. And this book, Stephen Michael Davis recommended this book in one of his videos, and it's an amazing book. But I got to the end, and he totally cites Jonathan Haidt and all of Jonathan Haidt's research and all that, and he basically uses Jonathan Haidt or Jonathan Haidt's research specifically as one of the reasons why this socialism idea will never die, because it's just post hoc rationalization. There's no downside to believing this stupid idea. Everybody makes a bunch of money believing this stupid idea. You know, the Voshes of the world, the who's the other big communist? Oh God, Hassan. But there's Noam Chomsky. Like Noam Chomsky's been running this grift for fucking centuries now. The guy's like 1,000 years old. Of course he's running this grift. Yeah. He was a big, all of these different socialist regimes came into power, and it's always real socialism until they fail. And then it's not, obviously it's not socialism. So, but yeah, this book's amazing. Totally digging it. Probably talk about it too much on the Sunday show. We'll see. I don't know. Should I do another MMT stream with Warren, or should I just, I don't know. I'm super fascinated by MMT, and I think there's a small but dedicated A-team force that's interested in MMT.
I can tell you that opinions on the Discord are pretty mixed, but there's a lot of people who don't mind listening to it. And I love how everybody's pointing out that I'm a furry. And yeah, thanks, guys.
Are you a fur? No one. We don't kink shame on in the A-team. Okay, if you're if you like to have sex with girls in furry costumes,
no, I would never go that far.
Whalers for $5 says the MMT jobs program should be called the Modern Program for Regaining Economic Guarantee. The Modern Program for Regaining Economic Guarantees. Okay, that's good. I like that. It seems pretty meaningless. We got another one here. John Smith says, I'd rather be in Afghanistan right now than hear Adam talk about MMT.
Oh man, Afghanistan. I don't.
Yeah.
Oh,
Afghanistan's a lot of trouble. I went back and I reread. There's a chapter in the Dictator's Handbook that's about war, and I went back and reread it, and I was like, these guys know what's up. All of this Afghanistan stuff could have easily been predicted. That book is so mind-opening.
it sounds like I want to read it then. Really quickly, because people are bugging me. To shield the server. Check out Centrist Militia. Somebody better link it in the chat because I don't think I can because I'm not one of your wrenches.
So I can fix that. No one. You just drop a chat in the thing, or maybe I have to back up it and see.
Hold on. There you go. I posted me talking. I said boop.
John Sullivan for $2 says, we love MMT at A Team. Modern Mpreg theory. Did someone finally get blocked, get gated for Mpreg? Because I on the Sunday stream, I mean, I filled up. I did every single version of Mpreg you could do, but yet people are typing Mpreg. Maybe because I put it in the title. Was I
don't know.
Not exactly sure.
I could tell you the inner workings of YouTube and how banned words in your own personal chat work. I know that I got annoyed in look
at that. Laser Addicts is Sasquatch did put Centrist Militia thing.
Yeah, thank you. Oh well, is that Laser Addicts or is that
There's both Laser Addicts and Centrist Militia.
I think he posted Laser Addicts.
Now, which one of these is S class and which one of these is A Team, or is there?
I mean, I feel like there's a healthy
overlap.
I feel like there's a healthy mixture of both in each. I will totally admit that I am S class.
Okay. Kicked. Where are we going? Globals for 20 Nokis says, Adam, ask no one about his feelings on femboys. XOXO.
Cavils, come on.
Femboys? I don't know. Is that?
Do you not know what a femboy is?
I do know what a femboy is.
Okay.
Is this controversial? Are they?
Well, no. The joke in the Discord is that
femboys aren't necessarily gay. I mean, they could be raking in the tang. You don't know. Are they? Is it mandatory that they're gay just because they're femboy?
No. Okay. I mean,
isn't femboy an effeminate like boy? I mean, maybe he's a player.
Okay.
He could be raking it in. You don't know.
To be fair,
this is the one thing. This is a thing that I hate about all of this trans nonsense. Is that listen?
Hold on, Adam. I don't think it's necessarily trans. I think it's just kind of like the tomboy thing, except on the other end.
I know it's the opposite of a tomboy. That's exactly what I'm about. That's what I'm about to say. Like, if you're a femboy, you should be able to be a femboy without someone coming to your class and saying, "Oh, maybe you're trans. Maybe you're actually a girl." Let the femboys be femboys. Let the tomboys be tomboys. Okay.
Oh, yeah, I'm totally for that.
Yeah.
For the record, Gavels is gay. He's a gay femboy, and he wants to marry me, and I absolutely refuse to do that.
Okay. So they're doing the same thing with you that they do with me. I have secret agents in the Discord. I know what's going on in there. I knew
your arguing buddy came in one night and was in the VC, which is something that you and Sitch have never done. So
well, I know I've been in and argued once. Yeah.
Have you? Okay.
One time. Yeah. And a bunch of people came in. I think, CT has, I don't know how she does it. It's like magic. A bunch of people, I go in there and a bunch of people show up to argue with me, which is actually kind of fun. So.
Oh, wait, are you talking about Laser Addicts or are you talking about CM? Because I don't know.
It was Laser Addicts. Okay. I don't know that I've been in Centrist.
Yeah, I was going to say, as far as I know, you and Sitch have never been in.
I've been in there, but I've just maybe gone in and like shit posted and like S class sucks.
I think I know both of you have typed in the text channels, but I don't think either of you have been in the VCs.
So what you started a story about what happened in the VC with the femboy thing.
Oh, right. So me and Gavels like to have this this back and forth with each other with I hate Gavels, he's in love with me, he wants to marry me sort of stuff. It's just typical pretty heckling. But
Oh,
Gavels
yes.
decided to make this joke sitcom idea where me and him are roommates. And yeah. And so the name of this was Fem and Fur. And
Oh, so you are like into the furries. You're coming clean now.
Yeah, well, yeah, I didn't deny that. I hope I didn't come off as denying that.
Well, you no commented it, and I didn't want to dig, but now you're volunteering the information. So
I mean, okay. I mean, I'm not going into like specifics, but yeah, I'm a super straight furry.
okay. Oh, interesting. Okay. Huh. So you have to specify because this furries are a little crazy, so tacking on the super straight is just to make everyone make it perfectly clear.
I mean, I don't like a lot of the furry community. There's there's a lot of kitty diddlers in the furry community.
Oh my god, I didn't know this. Fucking
it's pretty bad. Without getting too bad here.
Yeah, don't get too bad.
The worst.
Don't Aiden Paladin me here.
No. The worst example I've ever heard of was somebody who was it was a pedophile, necrophiliac, and zoophile all mixed into one.
How is that guy just not in prison? What the hell?
I don't know. I know he definitely got caught.
Yeah.
I know he was on Medicare. I know that people in the community pointed out that he definitely did some things. I think somehow he still wormed his way away.
The fact that there's repeat offenders on that stuff just drives me insane.
I think the biggest problem with it is that it's the community is so big, it's so disparate that it's like anything. There's a lot of bad actors in it. And it tends to be very sexual. So
yeah. Chris for $5 says you're A team tomboy, right? Tomboys are superior.
I'm S class for tomboys, sure. I do like A team.
So why are you S class and not A team? What's before we sign off? What's going on here? What do I have to do to win your vote? Do I have to shut up about the MMT?
No, you can keep going on about
that. Do I have to take John Smith's wrench? Is that what I have to do?
Oh, well, I mean, hold on now. That sounds enticing.
I may win. I may. We may have a future A team member. Hey, John, are you A team? Obviously I'm the boomer in the room, so my memory's not as good as it used to be. I don't remember, John. Are you A team? Obviously, I can't take your wrench if you're A team. A team is living the dream. God, I forgot it already. Look at this. John's nowhere to be found. John's like, I'm out of here.
I'm honestly
I don't want to answer this question.
I'm not going to speak on behalf of her. I don't know. And I know that if I do.
Look at this, Chris. Where's this? Take the wrench.
But I think
look at this.
I think I was on
Looks like Sitch is in the chat.
Oh, Sitch is
Don't tell our secret. Lord of the Nerds, don't tell our secret. What? Is that really? Is that Sitch? I don't know. Because these days people can make like fake accounts, so I don't even really know if that's
or
not.
Well, hold on. It's
got to be. He's got a wrench. Yeah,
I was gonna say he's wrenched. So unless you wrenched a fake account,
which may have happened. It's possible. It's always possible.
I think I talked about this before the last time I was on the caller stream, but it's fair if you don't remember me. It's purely just because I've been watching Sitch longer I think I found him
Okay,
first.
yeah, I do remember now. Yeah.
Yeah, I found him first. I've been watching him longer.
Well, that's a good excuse. That's
I
definitely
did
good.
remember finding your content on my own and
Mhm.
really liking it because I think he did one about it was like a really old one about communism, and I remember liking what you said in it. But
Oh yeah.
I think it was also a much older one where you were, because I think you spoke in defense of Marx, which I don't know if you would do today.
That
But
is one of my first videos. Yes, and I mean it's still on my channel. I re-uploaded it, and I would definitely. I mean, I re-uploaded the video. I think Mark's got some stuff right. It just bugs me that the stuff that Mark's got right, the communists like Vosh never talk about. It's the one thing that I'm always saying. Uh, if you have superabundance, the thing that Marx was saying capitalism would deliver you. Listen to that. Marx said capitalism would lead to superabundance.
well, Marx believed, didn't he believe that socialism was the natural evolution of capitalism?
Yes. So, but they want to implement socialism without superabundance, and not only that, they deny that capitalism is leading to superabundance. They want to say that capitalism is not helping people, not raising the standard of living, not making people happy. It's all a joke. It's all ridiculous. And the fact that they do it and claim they've read Marx just obviously rubs me the wrong
I mean,
way.
I don't know.
Look at this. Look at John is fucking flaunting it now. Oh my God. Oh my God.
Oh wait, she's S class. There you go. There's
I
the
know. Well, I'm not
No.
beheading anyone in front of the chat. Okay.
You probably definitely should do it for either. As funny as it would be.
S class is welcome here. S class is obviously welcome in the chat. So I'm gonna sign off. Do you have any closing thoughts? Anything you want to pitch? Do you have a Twitter? I guess you could throw your Twitter out there if you want.
That's my personal Twitter. I don't have any interest in chilling it. But yeah, check out Centrist Militia. Sass, I know you're in the comments. Send them the Centrist Militia link, please.
Yep.
We're doing it. We're gonna do like a giveaway for a year of Nitro. If you guys are enticed by that. Also, Megan's on. Fuck. There's fun people on there. I've realized.
What's this? Become Hassan, Adam. Do it. Oh my God, that's hilarious.
I've bought I think like the $80 package with your guys' comics. So
oh sweet.
Yeah, so that's all three, right? The base and both the variants, I think.
I believe so. Yeah. Yes. Thank you so much. I'm working my ass off. Sean Sullivan for $5 says A-Team drives with floaties and a helmet. Whereas S-Class has master teleportation and does not need to drive. What the fuck? This is why S-Class is best class. Oh my God. I had no idea. God.
Oh, you didn't know that?
But I mean, you guys really should put a helmet on if you're teleporting. You could teleport in the middle of a wall.
One other thing I'll shill because I think he'll appreciate it. David, and I hope I say his last name correctly here. I apologize if I do not. David Aragon. He's the one who's actually made the profile picture that I'm using. He's really awesome. He's I've had many conversations with him.
Oh wait, I love your profile picture, man. It was badass.
Yeah, it's like a I don't know what to call it, but kind of like a inspiration of the System Shock Showdown. But yeah,
awesome.
he's making a comic. He's a really funny guy. I love hanging out with him. He's always a riot, honestly.
Do we have a link to the comic or is it done or is he still working on it?
No, he's still working on it. If I can here, I'll see if I can.
Well, let us know when
yeah, he's still working on it. I'll try to see if I could find his like Patreon maybe, because I know he's got one. I'm pretty sure his Patreon links to his comic. So, but yeah, I mean, I'll get. I just wanted to shout him out since I'm on here because I'm pretty sure he
Cool.
would appreciate that.
Well, send me a link. We'll get them next time. Take care, everyone. Thanks for showing up, and let me know your thoughts on MMT and obviously the Mpreg. Obviously, we got to know what your thoughts are on that. So, take care, everyone. Bye bye.